3, 2, 1 type of thing.
It did, didn't it? Now it just is
Yeah.
waiting for Girly Gamer, so I don't know whether we are or we're not.
So I'm on your YouTube, and I don't see a live video on Girly Gamer.
Yeah.
It says we're live.
Oh, hang on, we are. We're live.
Oh, it does say it? Oh, yeah, it does say it.
Yeah.
I just
We're
can't
live
find
somewhere.
the video.
Somehow we're going
It's
live.
lurking in the live section. That's where it is.
I'm on the live area. I've got live vlog 1 3 years ago and the Mandalorian Vader Immortal 3 years ago.
Yeah, that was the last time we tried it. So
Oh, right here. Okay. It's on the home page. Here we are. All right, sorry. Now I'm caught up.
Alrighty. Oh,
I just wanted to be sure to share it. Yeah.
Let's see how we go. Right, I'll do a little introduction.
Okay.
This is our first, what are we calling it? We're calling it Geek This Week, Geeky Week, whatever we're calling it. And we're just going to talk about things we've geeked out over in the last few weeks. So it'll be board games, video games, movies, TV, comics, whatever fits in that geeky mold. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right, so let's do an introduction. Dave.
Hey, I'm Dave. I tend to geek out over like board games and horror films and sci-fi, and I'm a prolific collector of comics through the 90s. So a number of things like that.
Awesome.
Is that easy enough?
That'll do.
That'll do for the moment. Good.
Yeah.
Go
on, Riley.
Yeah, that was great. It's been a while since I've geeked out about comic books. I think board games have kind of taken over my life. I've played a lot less video games. I still love video games. I love TV shows. Those are probably my two biggest things: are board games, TV shows. I just can't get enough of either of those. But I want to start playing more video games again.
Yeah. Well, you do play now and again, though, don't you?
Every now and again, yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've been getting more and more into tabletop RPGs, right? So that's also been a really big part of my like nerddom for a good year now.
Yeah, and Dave's into that as well. That is a time suck.
Oh yeah,
it is a huge time suck.
Yeah.
But you do cool stuff too, don't you? You do like Borderlands or something. Is that
yeah,
right?
yeah. Yep, we do the Friend and Foe Adventure Co. You plug this right here, right?
Yeah. Plug away.
Because that's online,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, I do the podcast, actual play with it, and it's a lot of fun. It's definitely more explicit than than anything else I do, but I really have like a lot of fun doing it. It's nice to be able to like just let loose and play with some friends, and yeah.
Yeah,
very cool.
And let's give a little plug for your podcast as well.
I also do the Board Game Community Show podcast.
Yeah.
So I interview people throughout the board game community. I'm on a hiatus right now, so I know what I'm going to do for episode 100. I stopped at episode 99 somehow. It's been 3 weeks since I released an episode, but hopefully this week or next week we'll record. My wife and I will record the episode 100, and it'll be a fun.
Any teasers?
I'll just tell you what it is. We're just going to talk about the convention we went to. So I'll talk about that today, but it'll be like really in depth. So
okay, cool. So you both went then?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, cool. So, all right.
That was too much time on me. Oh, go up here.
No. Go. Well, if anyone's here, they're on my channel, so they probably already know who I am anyway. So yeah, just an old geek. Panicking today about doing this live stream because I'm in charge of everything in the back end.
Yeah, this is super easy for me. I've just shown up.
Yeah,
just sit there and be your charismatic self, Dave.
Oh, I wish I could summon some charisma right now. I'm struggling. It's not easy.
Right, who's going to start? What have you done recently that's geeky that you've completely loved? Will we just swing to Dave so that we're doing it in that order again?
Oh, whichever. I would say probably the best thing for me this weekend was being sick, and being sick with my daughter. So
Okay.
no wasted opportunities. We hung out on Friday and we went upstairs and played the retro gaming console that you lent me.
Oh, cool.
And I introduced her to Bubble Bobble, and we had a blast. Like, that was her first real computer gaming experience. And we just sat there and we just kept effectively, it was like an endless list of coins that we kept throwing into the machine effectively,
Yeah.
and just have slowly made our way through the game and had a blast. So that was really lovely. She now really considers herself a good gamer because
A retro gamer as well.
retro gamer. Well, she doesn't know it's retro yet.
Yeah.
But then I got sick of all of, like, because I was lying on the couch just letting her choose the TV shows, and I got sick of that. So I insisted that it was my turn, and we watched My Neighbor Totoro, and now she's a Studio Ghibli lover. So she wants to do all of them. So I feel I've done my job for the nerd community, fostering the nerdom in my younger one.
Yeah.
Offering her to the altar of geekdom. So job done as a parent.
Wow,
that is huge. I wish I was more nerdy growing up, like I was kind of a closeted nerd. So
dare I ask what your coming out experience was for nerd? I don't know if that's the right thing to use. Yeah, but when you finally acknowledged your
nerddom.
My nerddom, yeah. Like it wasn't anything big necessarily. It was much later in life. Early 20s probably.
Okay.
Really accepting that and being a lot more open. Like I used to go. Me and my brother would go to the big media store, and they would have all these anime there, and I felt like I have to keep that hidden. So I would like choose the anime, give him my debit card, and then he would go and buy it for us while I went and like looked at other things, like music and stuff, which I was like really into as well, but pretty much just kept that so hidden because I was worried that it would just like, tank my social cred or something, which I barely had any.
Well, you didn't want to lose what you did have, did you, Riley?
No, right? I wasn't popular by any means, but I also wasn't like picked on in high school. So I think I was more of a nerd, open in elementary school. So I was like kind of bullied then. And so I learned like, oh, if I keep that hidden, people don't know,
Hang on. You got to help me out. Elementary school is
like grade school. I don't know what you guys, primary school? Is that what you guys call it? Like
so it's like grade 1
like
to 7.
K through 6, I think is what
K
we
through
do.
6, yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
that's about what we do now.
Even
Excellent.
That's weird here in the States too. Sometimes I think a lot do like K through 5 and then 6 through 8 and then 9 through 12, something like that.
Oh, so they have like a dedicated middle school sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
Anyway, America. Yeah, I could be the American on here. It's always fun doing these streams like internationally and finding out. Like I always forget that you guys don't have daylight savings.
Oh, we do in some places around Australia.
Yeah.
You do? Oh my gosh, see?
Yeah. Just the most it seems to be the more redneck the area, the less daylight savings is popular. So I don't know why.
Something to do with cows, isn't it? That's what they always blame. They always blame the cows. That's why we can't have it here.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. That was one of the arguments during the 90s when we did the trial for daylight savings, is that it was going to upset the cows.
Yeah, because they need to be milked at a certain time. Yeah, so strange.
Oh my! So I work with farmers, and I know that they just get up when they have to get up, milk the cows. Like they don't care what time it is. Like they just have the job to do, and they do it when it needs to be done.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
So, in all fairness, my wife is she grew up on a farm and she hates the idea of daylight savings. Can't stand it.
Really?
So it's a constant bone of contention in our home because when we did the trial, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved having the extra daylight in the evening and feeling like being at 8 o'clock and just dusk. I really enjoyed that. But no, all of the farming side of the family dead set against it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh well.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh
well. There you go. You learned something on this show.
I don't know that anyone's
geeking out about
daylight savings.
Yeah, I think
Excellent.
that there's talk about getting rid of it here, but there's always talk, I feel like, and I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, is it my turn?
Well, I don't know that
Nope.
Riley actually talked about what he was geeking out about.
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
I-
you never. You
We
just
went
talked
into daylight savings.
We
Why don't you go
did.
first?
We got no, we got totally sidetracked. You go.
Well, actually, I want to know what the system was. You just said a retro system. What is it?
Yeah, it's I don't know. What is it, Ange? It was a
I
cool
don't know
little.
what it's called. It's called Game from Home or something. It's this big. It's like a big thing with like dual joysticks on it, and you just plug it in with a HDMI, and it's got hundreds of games on it. And I had it
Okay.
sitting here gathering dust, literally under this desk, and I was like, I bet Dave would enjoy that. So I lent it to him. But Jackson and I, so my grandson and I, we love playing it, and you probably found this as well, Dave, because it's one thing. You have to sit right next to each other when you're playing.
Yeah, I like that.
And that's really lovely because you get that little chit
cool.
chat going as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd keep nudging her with my elbow, just as
Yeah.
Oh, good job. That was fun.
Yeah.
And then she'd do it back to me. I loved it.
Lovely.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love that. It recreates that arcade experience right in your home.
Yeah.
So
yeah, not entirely. I mean, a lot of my arcade experiences was older guys then coming and challenging me and stealing my dollar, effectively, because they would just beat the crap out of me.
Oh, gee.
Oh,
on the game or whatever. And then I'd just walk away from the machine.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dave, that wouldn't have happened in my arcade when I was the manager of an arcade. I wouldn't have let that happen.
Oh dear.
Yeah, you got to look out for them, right? Like,
Yeah.
can't tolerate that.
It's what makes it. What did you replace it with, Ange? You replaced it with a system, didn't you? Like a.
I replaced it with my Steam Deck that I'll be chatting about
yeah.
when it's my turn.
I mean, that just organically came up. You can talk about it now.
You should go.
Yeah.
Well, I got a Steam Deck, which is basically a handheld PC. So it's like the Nintendo Switch, but if it was a PC.
Yeah.
And it's like connected to Steam, so you can just play Steam games on there. But it's also got its own emulation software. I know emulation's a dodgy subject to talk about, but I do own a lot of old games that I don't play. They're all sitting in a box, like SNES and Mega Drive or Genesis, those kind of games. But because I own them, I can pop them on the Steam Deck and play them. And it's awesome.
So because you own them, you're able to put them on the emulator. Is that it, or?
Well,
is that
that's how it works, isn't it? You're allowed to download the ROM if you own the original or some such thing. So yeah, so I've got lots of ROMs on there of games that are gathering dust. Even DS games that I own, you can play DS on it. It plays all the systems up to. I've seen people playing Switch games on it, but I haven't. I'm really not interested because I've got a Switch anyway. But yeah, amazing machine. I'm loving it.
Wow.
My buddy got one, and he is. I feel like at least twice a week he messages me and says, "There's this awesome deal." Like he's spending money on it all the time because there's like these huge packs of like old games that you can just buy for like $5 or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it's.
And Steam sales aren't like regular video game sales. I feel like they're the best sales that you're ever going to get. They're like 90% off and things like that. It's crazy.
So hang on, you get this through Steam?
Yeah, it's a Valve. It's the Valve handheld.
Right. And what may I ask? What price range you're looking at for that?
My one was $1,000 AUD. But I think it's $499 USD.
Yeah, I think there's
three different ones. Yeah, there's 3 different ones you can
the
get.
exchange is so bad right now. Plus all the import taxes that we have, and oh my gosh.
And it's not out here yet, so I had to import it.
Oh wow, that's dedication. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's 3 you can get, and the cheaper one, I think it's $499. Maybe it's even less than that.
I think it's less than that here.
Yeah,
if I remember right.
People are just buying that and then shoving a really big micro SD in it because the performance is the same. It's just the hard drive is a different size.
Yeah.
Right. Is that all you did?
I've got a micro SD for my ROMs, and I got the mid-range one. So I think I've got 256 gig.
Oh, okay.
So I've got quite a lot anyway.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel
nice.
like it goes up by $100 if I remember right. Like it's like 400, 500, 600.
Something like
Maybe
that,
it's
yeah.
700. Something
It's
like that, yeah.
honestly, I can't sell this thing enough. I joke with my wife. I'm like, I love that nearly as much as you. It's my favorite ever like console that I've bought. And man, I've loved some consoles in the past, but the ease of use and the game selection is insane.
Oh, wow.
Can you like get a Steam controller and connect it to your TV so you can like play it as if it's just a regular console?
I usually play it on the TV. I only
okay.
play it handheld if I'm waiting in the car or something.
Nice.
Yeah, you just put a dock. It's got a HDMI in it, and it just goes straight into your TV. And I sit with my PlayStation 5 controller and play.
Oh, wow.
Play on
So
the
hang
TV.
on. I've got Steam games on my Steam account. They're all PC based.
Yep.
So would I be able to easily transfer them over? Seriously,
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter if I've got them downloaded them as PS5 or Xbox or whatever.
Well, as far as I'm aware, I had games on there that I downloaded for Mac, and they work on the Steam Deck when I download them on there. So
Wow.
yeah.
Nice.
And
So
is
what-
Steam sponsoring this episode at all?
No.
Is that- no?
I wish they were. They
It's a
could
missed
send you guys
opportunity,
one.
Ange. Missed
Yeah, we all
opportunity.
get a Steam Deck.
Quick, send them a link. Send them a link.
Yeah. But what games are you like? What are the big games you've played on it? Your favorites?
My favorite game at the moment, Riley, and I pray that you get a Steam Deck because you liked Dreamlight Valley and Animal Crossing, and there's this little game called Dinkum, and it's basically Animal
Sounds
Crossing,
Australian.
but it's Australian.
Yes.
Oh,
There you go.
okay.
Oh, I have sunk so many hours into it. I'm embarrassed to say, but it is it's got my heart. This game, it is so charming, and you know how much I loved Animal Crossing. My favorite game of all time, played on every single thing that it's ever been out on. I think I actually love Dinkum more.
What do you do in Animal Crossing? Like
Dave.
what is there to do in this game that takes so much time?
Just the
Whatever you
creation
want.
of it, whatever you want. Yeah.
Is this like World of Warcraft for
No.
like, cute and
There's no
funny
meanness.
things?
There's no meanness in Animal Crossing, Dave.
Oh,
Yeah, no combat.
all
I mean,
right.
you definitely kill some fish, but
Yeah.
that's about it.
Yeah, you go
Okay.
fishing, you plant your crops. You've played Stardew Valley, surely.
Have you thought of just doing like starting a real life farm and then at least then
No,
all your hard work becomes something?
it does become something, Dave.
It becomes hours and hours of enjoyment and comfort of being inside, not having to
Yeah.
put in hard labor,
No
sit in a
spiders.
tractor.
Ugh.
No spiders.
No spiders. Oh well,
Yeah.
that is.
No snakes.
Oh, okay. So how is it? How the Australian one's got to have spiders and snakes, though, right?
The Australian one does have. It doesn't have snakes. Isn't that strange? I'm wondering if the devil add them because he is adding to it all the time.
Oh, okay.
But there is spiders. Yeah, you can collect a redback spider, a funnel web spider, and I think a wolf spider, which I don't have yet.
Oh, you collect them.
Yeah, and then you donate them to the museum, and then the museum, sound familiar, Riley? And then the museum puts them in a display, and you can go and look at them in the display.
Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure that would be illegal in Australia, but okay, that's all right. I'm sure most of those species you couldn't just take out of the wilds, but okay. Sounds very realistic.
Well,
Ange.
yeah. Well, I'm working for the museum, so I figure it's okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Sure.
Are they like Oh my gosh. Why can I never say this word?
Anthropomorphic.
There's no
Thank you.
animals in it. There's no animals in it that are player
Okay.
characters. The characters in it are people.
Okay.
And it's hilarious because they all talk like Aussie. So they'll,
Is
see
this-
you across the way and they'll be like, "G'day, girly gamer."
Oh, really? Does it seem like real Aussie, or does it seem like, Pacific Rim style Australian?
It seems
It's that
like
really bad.
the dev is leaning into Australiana is
Okay.
how it seems. But it's charming. Like the guy who runs the animal feed store is called Irwin, and he looks like Steve Irwin.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So it doesn't accept stingrays from anyone.
Oh, Dave.
Sorry.
Ooh,
There
too
are
soon?
stingrays in it.
Sorry, I'll keep my barbs to myself. That's all right.
Oh, he's on fire today, isn't he, Riley?
Yeah.
I didn't intend for this to go mean, but I have been sick all weekend.
I was gonna say this is sick, Dave. So
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he's not going good. But you did see a good movie. You were telling me earlier, Dave. You saw a good movie this week.
Oh yeah, I totally went and saw Cocaine Bear. So when I say
Oh.
good movie, I mean graphically violent,
Okay.
gory movie, but hilarious. Elizabeth Banks did an excellent job of directing and putting this film
Yeah,
together.
she's
I don't
pretty
think
good.
she wrote it directly. I think she took an on-spec script,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's solid. Like I've not heard a lot of the reviews I've heard have been sort of like either people didn't like it or they did. I'm definitely in the did camp. Our theater was yeah, there's only a few of us in the theater, but we were all very much laughing out loud and enjoying it. I think the problem is horror comedy is a bit of an awkward genre to try and fit into. I think it has to be more comedy than horror. So I don't expect a lot of jump scares or big tension building moments. There are a couple moments that made me go, "Oh, if I was that character in that situation, I'd be really like feeling like completely freaked out." But the emphasis is definitely on the comedy, and it's just
Okay.
it was brilliantly done. Like I don't want to give too much away, but I mean it's based on a real life event where there was a drug drop that went wrong, presumably because some bear ate a bunch of cocaine. But yeah, it's sort of based on that story, but it doesn't feel like any of the characters are wasted. They all seem to help progress the
Just
story
the
along.
bear. Just the bear.
Yeah,
Bear's
yeah.
really wasted.
Wasted.
Has
Totally
just
trash.
has some real laugh out loud moments. So I thoroughly enjoyed it and thought it was definitely worth, because I'm like I love my horror, but I didn't go into this with any expectation it was going to be suspenseful or thrilling or whatever. It was just good, solid comedy.
Okay.
So I don't know what it obviously did well because it's outperforming a lot of other stuff out in the box office
Yeah.
at the moment, except Creed 3, which has just opened up and is doing really well. So
Oh, is it?
yeah, I haven't. I was trying to find the other Creed movies so I could go and watch them, but they're all on Paramount or something, so which I don't have access to. So I guess I'll just wait until I can stream them all at some point, which is a shame. But yeah, no, definitely recommend Cocaine Bear as a if you're into that sort of slasher flick comedy thing. If you can see the light side in that.
I thought it was going to be more of like an action comedy. That's how I was seeing the trailer. But
okay.
does that fit it more, or is it somewhat horror?
No, it's more like that slasher horror where it's not about it's about the gruesomeness of what's going on,
Okay.
and the sort of the putting the characters in situations where you can feel the tension building, like you can see what's coming and slowly mounting towards what's inevitable, and then the surprise is more when someone gets away or something, how they manage it. But yeah, a lot of great characters. Story really clean, crisp. I don't feel anything was wasted. I didn't feel like I was in there for too long at all. Yeah, definitely worth it.
Okay, so maybe like, is that movie like a Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
good example. Yeah, Tuck and Dale versus Evil. Even what's the cabin one?
Oh, Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, that
That
has
sort of
some
thing.
humor.
That's a good
Yeah,
film.
yeah. They are. I do enjoy. I enjoyed both of those. Tucker and Dale versus Evil is probably a great analogy if someone's seen that. It's probably
Okay, yeah.
comparable on that level.
So that makes my interest from like, oh, that's humorous to, oh, actually, I'd watch that.
Certainly worth it. Like I went into Tucker and Dale not knowing what to expect. Came out loving it.
Yeah.
So that was a good, pleasant surprise. That one. I'd say people might have similar if they have that expectation, they should be okay.
Okay. Nice. Well, yeah,
Good.
I'm excited to try that then.
Yeah.
And I also
check it
didn't
out.
know that Elizabeth Banks directed it, so
She's amazing.
she is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really good.
Love everything she does at the moment.
Yeah. I keep seeing like I saw, I don't know if it's just pictures of her and cocaine bears behind her, and I was like, I don't know if she just went to the premiere, if she's like in it for a minute or something. Like I had no idea what her role with the movie was.
Yeah, she's not in it, but she directed it.
Nice.
I think, and then produced it.
Yeah.
So
That's
pretty
awesome.
sure that's right.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll be
definitely.
going and seeing that then. That sounds good.
We'll do it
Yeah.
soon. I went and saw it because the times they put up effectively was like for 1 week where it had multiple showings,
Okay.
and then the following week was like just 9:30 p.m. gold class.
All right.
But I think they've released a whole bunch of new theater settings since because it was obviously popular.
Yeah.
So people obviously stuck with it. But yes, I'd see it soon if you want to see it in theaters.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah. Well, similarly, I mean, I won't talk about any of this because it's literally been hours since it came out, but I just watched The Last of Us season finale. So, like, finished maybe 30-40 minutes before we started the stream.
Okay, Riley, have you played the game? Is this
I haven't.
Okay, and you loved it, right? Because Andrew
I-
played the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved it. And actually, so my friend, he got a PS5 and he gave me his PS4. This was like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I don't know. And he was like, "You have to play The Last of Us." And I was like, "Oh, that's one I've always wanted to play, and I've never had a PlayStation." But I was more interested in the Spider-Man games, the Miles Morales game. So I was like, I'll get those and then I'll play those. And then we ended up doing construction. So I kind of packed the PlayStation away and haven't brought it out. But and then started the series and I was like, okay, now I have to wait until I finish the season and then I'll play it. Because I don't want to spoil it for myself. And it'll be interesting to like do that in reverse because I know a lot of people are comparing it from like, playing it to watching it.
No, because I haven't seen it at all. And I'm the same situation. I haven't played the game either. So maybe Ange has a better insight into how well it fits the characters or if it.
I just want to know how I don't want to know the ending because I haven't watched it yet. I just want to know how you felt. Like, do you feel it was a good ending? Because it seemed so short. Like I felt like I was just getting into it, and then the final episode.
Yeah. So you did watch the final episode too?
No, I haven't watched it yet. I'm watching it tonight.
Oh, are you saying like the game you felt like you were just getting into it and it ended?
The season. I feel like the season just flew by so fast.
Well, it's right. Like, okay, 9 episodes. And here's one of my big things is that they've been telling really good stories, but episode 5 and 6, I think, are like 59 minutes. And then it's like 55 minutes, 50 minutes, 46 minutes. And then this one was 43 minutes. And I'm just like, what? Why are you getting shorter? Like the finale should be big. And that's how I felt about the finale. I think that they didn't they could have gone longer. They could have emphasized a couple things a little more. Like, and there were things throughout the series that I actually really liked at the time. But then in the finale, I feel like that actually hindered the show. But it was a good finale, I think. Like there's a lot of really cool moments and stuff. I do like it, but I think I also have to like process it a little more. I've been texting with 2 of my friends that watched it, and like one of them is like, yeah, I'm really disappointed, and the other was like, oh my gosh, that was so good, that was perfect, that was, like, it was what I
Oh,
wanted. And I'm
oh,
just
Yeah.
nice.
so like I'm kind of in that middle ground more so of like, yeah, there's things I'm disappointed in, there's things I love. So
Yeah.
yeah.
The whole season's been like that though, hasn't it? Really, there's been a couple of episodes where people have like, the episode I'm talking about, the episode earlier in the season, and people on Twitter were like, "Oh, I'm broken. I am broken from this episode. I'm in floods of tears. It's broken me as a person." And then you had like a smaller amount of people going, "That was rubbish. That was absolute rubbish."
There's okay, well, there's legitimate. I think I know which one you're talking about, but also, there's another. Unless this is the one, there's one that legitimately broke me, and even now, like you started talking, and I started thinking about it, and tears started to go in my eyes because I still can't talk about that episode without like crying.
I
It
honestly, I'm
gets
assuming
me.
we're talking about the same thing, Dave. You need to watch this show.
Yeah,
This
well,
episode is the best TV episode I've ever seen, and I watch a lot of TV. Oh,
okay.
magic, just
I'm,
visceral.
I'm pretty picky though. I'm
Oh,
very so. Tell me, you got to sell me on the series. Like, I've got to have more than one episode to want to go and watch the series.
oh,
Though
the whole thing's really
Oh,
good.
yeah, I think the first 30 minutes of the show is mind-blowing, like amazing storytelling. I and then it's just like I don't know. I think episode 1 is actually one of my favorite episodes, but then like mid-season, amazing. There's
Yeah,
I think there's only like one
so good.
episode that was like, that was okay.
okay. So I mean,
Yeah,
help me
But it
out
was a
here
setup.
because I'm kind of my understanding. I could be completely wrong, as I don't know the franchise at all. Is that it's kind of like a zombie apocalypse thing, and that concept seems to have been done to death for me
oh no,
before.
Yeah. I
But
think
you think it's
I can
definitely worth
say
it?
this because um this is one of the things that I absolutely love about the show is that you've watched The Walking Dead, I presume, or seen it or are familiar with it.
I got to season 2.
Okay, well, so you've seen brutality, like, right? They
Oh yeah,
like
sure.
they emphasize like
I
the
tried to watch
gore and
Resident
the
Evil recently.
oh,
And
okay.
besides
I haven't
tried,
watched
it
that
was
one.
I kept falling asleep during it. It was just not working for me.
Yeah, so I think this one like focuses on the actual storytelling rather
yeah,
than the shock value. Like they could have done so many things more shocking, more gory, more brutal, but it's like this stuff happens and it's not like that's not our focus. And
Okay.
I really, really actually appreciate that. It's on HBO Max, and so I was expecting it to be like, you see some very like shocking graphic violence, but they don't lean into that at all.
it's more about the character. It's same as the game. I mean, the game's more violent than the show, I would say, because you're killing a lot more things because it's a video game. But
Yeah,
it's all about the characters.
yeah.
I mean, that the last game in the Last of Us series, I've never been so torn doing anything. In fact, my wife and I sat on the couch and we had this decision going on of what are we going to do here? And it just, to think a video game can affect you in that way is utterly ridiculous. And the TV show brings that to television. It's just, Dave, you need to watch it. It's
All right.
so good.
All right.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so are you on the like, did you finish the penultimate episode then, and you just have the finale now to watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll have to message me when you're done.
You need to play
So-
the game as well, because the only thing I don't like about the show, and don't flame me in the comments for this, I know she's a great actress, right? Bella Ramsey.
Yeah.
She's a wonderful actor, but she's not Ellie. She's not Ellie to me because
Okay.
I've played all the games, and she doesn't look like Ellie. She's lacking something that the video game Ellie has. I mean, I'm getting to love her. Don't get me wrong. I'm getting to love her, but I just love Ellie in the game more. And
Yeah.
it's not the actor's fault that she looks a certain way and Ellie looks different.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
took me a little bit to warm up to Ellie, honestly. And
Yeah.
even like I think it's a great choice. I don't even know the
Oh,
video
yeah.
games, so like, you know, like I don't have that reference. But I do feel like they don't, maybe it's the way she's portrayed or something. I mean, in the video game, like, do you start off not necessarily liking her that much? Or is it like almost instantly that you're like, there's something about
Yeah.
this girl that's
I
great?
don't remember not liking Ellie. She's a little cutie
Okay.
pie and you feel sorry for her straight away. You know, you want the best for her. I don't know.
Interesting.
I
Okay.
just feel a little bit different with the TV show.
Yeah, I would say that like it took me a while to warm up to Ellie as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But other than that, the casting's just, yeah, it's
Yeah.
outstanding.
And I mean, yeah, like Bella Ramsey is great.
Oh,
Like I
she's
think
so good. Yeah.
yeah, I think that there have been like I could I can't say anything about it, but like
Yeah.
there's one scene specifically where she's not saying anything, but the action is just like
I think I know the scene. Yeah.
like oh my gosh, that
I
was
think I
so
know the one.
powerful. And like like you can see it in her face, in
Yeah.
her body. Like
So
it's
good.
yeah, like that was
Yeah.
amazing. This like Dave, are we convincing you at all?
I'll definitely have to check it out. It's
Maybe
one of those.
maybe we've
Have we
overhyped it at
oversold
this
it?
point.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like I often find the discussion of, you know, character portrayal interesting in these sorts of things because you know, I just find that it's so hard for actors to fit into those roles. Like I always find it really, you know, is it too much to ask them to portray someone that's already beloved in a fictionalized way? Like there's few times where I've felt really satisfied that someone was portraying them. Like I think the first one of the big ones for me was Robbie Coltrane as Hagrid. Spot on how I imagine Hagrid, you know, but it's not often that they get to step into roles that have got a fandom and,
Yeah.
you know, satisfy people. It's very hard to do, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's got to be a challenge for any of those actors stepping into that game, into that whole universe and saying, yep, I'm going to portray this character that you've loved through all these games. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a
I mean,
challenge.
Pedro Pascal, I don't hear anyone ever complain about him, but I love that guy anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He's in this too, isn't he? I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Because there's a running joke at the moment, isn't there? The memes
yeah,
are all like he just goes around collecting orphans and looking after them,
delivering them places. Yeah. Oh dear,
Yeah.
I haven't actually caught the beginning. I haven't caught the new season of Mandalorian either.
I haven't either.
I haven't either. Yeah.
Oh, we're the problem. They're saying like the whole thing at the moment is that Mandalorian's had a very lackluster start, and I'm like,
Oh no.
I'm part of that problem because I'm like, yeah, I'll wait till it's a few more episodes in and then I'll start.
That's what I'm doing as well. I wonder how many people are doing that then. I'm doing the same with Picard. I just thought, oh, I'll wait so that I can just watch them one after the other.
I mean, you know, Picard's the final season, though, at least.
Yeah.
Like,
God, hope so.
I almost popped on the Mandalorian episode because I heard it was a really short first episode, like 30 minutes or something. It's the shortest in the series. I don't know if that's true, but I heard, you know, like I've just heard that it was the shortest episode in the series.
Oh wow.
So I thought maybe I'll have time to like start that new episode, but
I didn't think they were hugely long to begin with, are they? How long?
I think they go right around like 40 to 50.
Oh, okay. Oh, really? Oh,
maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I could look it up, but
let's just assume you're correct.
Yeah.
It's easy.
So TV shows, big love here. Like I just I consume them as much as I can. So I'm sad I haven't started the Mandalorian's new season, but yeah, there's so many other things to watch.
I nearly had a third notch in my belt this weekend because I've sort of, my friend had bought this book for my daughter when she was born, and it's Kirk and Spock, and it's like this children's book of all the different episodes. Like, see Kirk do Kirk Fu on the, it's like all these sort of, effectively like Spot the Dog books, but with all Kirk and Spock moments throughout the original series, which I find hilarious, and she just loves reading it for whatever reason.
Cute.
So
That is
I was
awesome.
watching, yeah. So usually I start watching Star Trek when she's going to bed. So she comes out and uses it as a way of trying to prolong the going out to bed process. But now we're both sick. I was watching an episode and she wanted to join, but yes, I think it was a bit of a talky episode, so it didn't last long. But I got a good solid 10 minutes in, so I figure that's a start. It's a
It's a
baby
start.
steps to original series. So, oh well, nearly
That's great.
nearly there. Oh dear. What other than Last of Us? What else is hot at the moment on? Because I'm totally behind on all these TV series.
This actually, I've been trying to decide if I like this more than The Last of Us, because I think it's just brilliant. And I don't hear many people talking about it, but it's Shrinking. Have you?
Oh, I've watched the first one.
Okay.
I watched the first episode.
Did you love it? Did you like it?
I love Harrison Ford, and I don't mind. Is it Jason Segel? Is that his name? The guy.
Yeah.
I don't mind him either, but I found him a little whiny. That's why I didn't watch the second episode.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I need to.
Kimmy, I think, was a little bit in the same boat, but that's kind of like I think that's sort of the story progression of, like, we're sort of joining him at this low point, and then seeing him grow. And it's like almost every episode I cry. I love a show that makes me cry. Like, I love getting emotional and with it. And yeah, like we watched.
I need to watch it. I like the premise because I've always thought, obviously I studied psychology at uni. And I've always thought, if I was a psychologist and someone was sitting there being abused, it would be so hard for me to just not say, leave that guy, he's a dick, or leave that girl, she's a dick.
Yeah.
So I did like that. Is that the premise of, like, the entire thing, that he does that sort of thing? Because I know he does that in the first one.
Yeah. So he's doing that kind of thing throughout the series, but there's also like his kind of growth and his family stuff and and also the other characters, honestly. Like, oh no, what's her name? There's the third therapist in there, and I am annoyed that she's not on the poster or anything or emphasized, because she is brilliant. Like, I think she has just as many amazing, great moments as like anybody else. But
I'm looking it up now as you speak, because I've not heard of this at all. Like, I have no idea that this was a thing.
Oh, okay. Is it on Apple TV? I think it's Apple TV, is it?
Oh, there it is. Okay.
That's probably why, right?
Yeah. I can't subscribe to all the streaming services. I just can't.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I feel like to keep up on all the streaming services, I have to end up paying more than what cable used to be.
Right.
So it's just getting nuts. I am finding it interesting, though, the number, like, it used to be this trend during 80s, 90s of starting in a TV series and then getting big enough to move into movies. Whereas now it seems to like everyone's moving back to TV series. And I assume it's streaming that's driving that trend at just how popular it is to just stay home and watch a TV series. But it seems to be like a massive number of movie stars.
Big stars, yeah.
Big stars making their way back to TV, which is, I think it's great. I think it's raising the level
like
of TV.
We said, Harrison Ford is in that Shrinking. He's one of the main characters in there, and he's in another one as well. He's in the spin-off to that Yellowstone show as well.
I didn't know that.
I've heard about that. That was the 1923 or something. Or one of those.
Him and Helen Mirren, I think, are in that one.
Yeah, huge cast.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And I can't watch. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going because the only thing I've got comparatively is recently watching the Kaminsky Method, which Michael Douglas,
yeah,
which was interestingly, a Chuck Lorre show that I didn't hate. I quite loved. Like, I genuinely enjoyed the series from start to finish. I don't
Maybe
know
I have
that
to
I've done
check
that
that
with,
out.
I don't know that I've done that with any Chuck Lorre production. Liked it from start to finish, but yeah, really enjoyed it. It was a slower. It wasn't a, trying to, every line had to be a joke and laugh tracks or anything. It was just this nicely paced people entering their twilight years and trying to work out what to do with themselves. It was brilliant.
Okay.
And
I only
of course,
watched one of that as well. Maybe I should revisit that as well.
yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, I have to check out The Last of Us. Maybe we should choose a show for each other.
Yeah.
There you go, Ange. Yours is the Kaminsky method.
Have you watched Barry? Do you watch Barry?
Oh my gosh, I'm so devastated right now, but also relieved that the next season's the last.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they announced that like
Oh.
this last week or a couple weeks ago, I think. And because that show, that's like that first
It's good.
season, top 3 TV shows for me almost. Like that's how good how
Wow.
much I love that show.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's really good. The last season was a
Hang
bit
on, I've got to put that
questionable, I
into.
thought, but
I've got to put that into perspective. What would be your top 3 TV
Oh,
shows
yeah.
then? Barry's one of them. Just so I know that I want to test the credibility here.
Yeah. Oh no. Normally I would. So these are like my staple ones, but I think I actually need to update this and like actually
Okay.
take some time and figure
you're
it out.
going to
But
say Lost, aren't you?
yeah, Lost.
Oh,
So Lost is a big one.
no.
Community.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And then, what was the third one? I thought I had DVDs behind me.
Have
My
a quick
DVDs are
look.
tucked away in boxes.
Okay.
What would the third? I mean, like Barry is really high up there. Although, like The Last of Us, I know it's only one season in. I just finished it. Maybe not super satisfied with the whole season, but I also think it's like very excellent storytelling too. So I'm gonna need some time to think to digest
Okay.
what the best.
All right.
And I might actually Lost and Communities season 1 through 3 will always. I think that stays in there.
Yes.
But Lost might move down. I'm not sure yet. So,
That's all right.
I don't know. Yeah. Do you have top 3s, either of you?
Oh, you go first, Ange.
For TV off the top of my head, oh my goodness. Well, as I said, that Last of Us episode, like that's right up there in my top 3. Geez, TV shows. I mean, I can only think of TV shows that I'm watching now that I think are amazing. Like Succession came into my mind, and the new season of that starts soon, and that is ridiculous. I don't know why I like that so much, because they're all absolutely awful people, and I always like to have someone to sort of, cheer on. But they're all awful. But I really like that, so that's a sign of a good show, I guess.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Excellent.
That's kind of like Righteous Gemstones for me. Is
right.
That, like, I mean, I like Eli, right? Like John Goodman, but everyone else is just like the worst human beings possible. And not like they're, I mean, they're not great people, but they're also like people you would not want to be around anyway. Like,
that's a good one. That's a good show, though.
Yeah, we just finished the 2nd season.
Again,
yesterday.
I've heard good things about that one, but
first season's better.
Okay,
but,
fair enough.
You know what? I know we're turning this onto TV. Oh, wait. Sorry, did you have a third one? Oh, wait, did you say? Did you say any?
I said a Succession.
Succession.
Which is crazy good. But there is a new show coming out that I am so pumped for. If you haven't seen the trailer for it, it's called Silo. And it's based on one of my favorite books that I've ever read called Wool. And I think they've actually got the casting quite good for how I imagined it in my mind. So yeah, take a little note of that. Look up the trailer for Silo. Look up the book Wool, because it is just a magnificent read. And there's a whole bunch of books in this series, but that was my favorite. The first one.
Yeah, I've not heard of it.
And I'm hoping the TV show does the book justice. because the book is just so good.
Oh, yeah, it's a hard call, isn't it? Because there's only so
Yeah.
much you can put into TV shows versus the books.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
challenge
It's
to live
looking
up
good.
to.
Looking good.
Oh, that's good. Excellent. Mine's easy. Star Trek, West Wing, Ninja Scroll. Done.
Oh, West Wing. I really need to watch West Wing. I've never
Yeah.
watched it.
Same.
There's so many
Okay.
seasons. It's quite scary to like make that commitment.
Well, and they're
Well,
older too, right? So it's
yeah.
full 20,
22
24.
episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
50 minutes long. So it is a big commitment.
Yeah.
But I usually watch it at least once a year.
Oh wow,
So,
okay.
But I'm just a fan of
okay.
Aaron Sorkin's writing. So I like the Aaron
Did
Sorkin.
he write? Did he write The Newsroom? Is that what he wrote?
Yeah, he did do that. That's
Oh,
good.
yeah.
I usually
watched that
follow it
yet.
up by watching that. It's a little bit
Mm.
different. But yeah, he did that. He also did Molly's Game and
Oh,
number
I
of
need to
movies.
watch Molly's Game. I like anything Jessica Chastain's in. I'll gladly see. Oh, Mayor of Easttown. That was one of my favorite shows of the last
Ah,
year or two. That Kate Winslet was just astonishing in that.
oh, really?
Yeah, mind you, I'd watch her watch paint dry. So
That's fair.
Uh,
That's fair.
I was. Oh no, we started that. We didn't even finish the first episode though. I think that Kimmy was. It's a very very slow start, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not like
Yeah.
a necessarily like gripping.
Yeah, it does get quite gripping.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't we have that
So-
same conversation with Kate Siegel?
Oh, Kate
That-
Siegel. What can you
She's
say
just
about
so
her other
good.
than
You could just watch her in anything.
you would literally just
Oh.
watch her on a chair, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. Easily. Easy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Brilliant.
She's good.
to
Now,
kind
now
of
my brain's going like, what other shows? Happy Valley, the UK show Happy Valley.
I
That's
always wanted
brilliant.
to watch that.
Oh, so good.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm not familiar. Man, I feel like I'm such a novice in this area now. Like, there's so many TV shows you're mentioning.
I watch a lot of
I've got-
TV.
I've got no clue. I've just not even heard of some of this stuff. Kate Winslet was in a TV show. No clue. There you go.
Oh, she was so good in it. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's not surprising. But
Yeah.
I've been
Excellent
so
book.
happy that things have been kind of transitioning more and more to television because I like movies, but I have a harder time for whatever reason. And I think so many people do this of like, oh, well, I have to watch a 2-hour movie, or I could watch like 5 1-hour episodes of
Yes.
a show,
Why
and
do we
that's
do
fine.
that?
But I also love the time they can take to tell a story and get you, like into characters. I've always said that video games should almost always be a TV show because there is almost no way that you're going to fit. I mean, like Last of Us, right? We've got 9 episodes. And I think it ended up being something like, well, I mean, roughly about 9 hours worth of TV. And
Okay.
they said that the Last of Us game takes 15 hours to play through the story of it.
okay.
Okay.
And so like 9 hours of TV and 15 hours of video game, like, you're getting like a lot of that story as well as some other stuff to fill in the rest, because how many hours of that game is you like shooting zombies or people or whatever it is, right? Like,
Yeah.
and dying and having to restart and like walking around the levels, the town. I don't know exactly how the game plays, so but like there's so many hours that aren't story related. So
Yeah, it sounds like you need games though for that do have a strong story basis.
yeah.
Like I look, guilty pleasure. I admit openly in public that I liked the original Mortal Kombat film. Now, video game adaptation. I know it's a terrible film. I know it, but I love to watch it. It's
Okay.
for whatever reason I can't get enough. Maybe it's Christopher Lambert. I don't know. However, I don't know how you adapt that. I had no thought of how you could adapt that into a TV series or take it any further than that one film, because the whole game premise is so basic. It's there's a competition and people show up. It's effectively blood sport, you know, the movie Bloodsport. It was, you know, people show up to this competition, they beat each other up, and only one wins. What do you do with it? And yet somehow, or like recently, they've been doing a series of animated films which have been building out the lore and they've been really good, like amazingly good. I've been
Of
really getting
Mortal Kombat.
yeah, the Mortal Kombat animated they are films, but they're like an hour long, so you could call them like they're equivalent to a lot of episodes are these days. But they've been building out the lore of Mortal Kombat, which has been excellent.
Oh, okay,
But
never even heard of it.
See,
yeah,
but that's exactly what you would do with it. Like, make it so that there might only be 1 or 2 fights in an episode, but the rest is like diving into, maybe they have interactions before the fight where like maybe they become a little friendly, or that rivalry tension happens, or who are they interacting with and why are they there and competing, and what was their upbringing to get there. You know,
yeah,
like
and
there's so much lore that can be built.
it was surprisingly good, I found, in how well they went into a depth of certain master apprentice relationships or
Yeah.
some of the politics going on. But still, like, I don't know, for some reason, for whatever reason, time, maybe it's not time spent, but I often find it like looking at movie adaptations, I'm still on edge whether I go see it at the theater or I wait till it streams or because I just don't trust it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of questioning whether I go and see Dungeons and Dragons
Mm,
because will
same.
it be good?
Yeah.
I know.
Same boat. Well, so I'm in a tricky spot. One of my favorite IPs is Borderlands. Like I do an actual play podcast, right? Like
Are they doing a show of that?
they're doing a movie, and
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So-
I did not know.
Eli Roth, well, actually Craig Mazin, who is the one that teamed up with Neil Druckmann, he wrote like The Last of Us for TV.
Okay.
So like he teamed up with the original writer and they like adapted it and wrote it all out, right? Like it, so really, really well done. He wrote the Borderlands movie. He was part of that. But then like Eli Roth directed it, and Eli Roth does like, you know,
You see Independence Day? Am I thinking of the right person?
no, he
Eli
does
Roth?
things like Grindhouse, I think, and like kind of like those
okay.
over the top action.
Yep.
It's more about that shock factor, right? Of like blood and I
Inglorious-
just
yeah,
Inglourious Bastards, which is
Bastards
great.
he was in.
Okay.
But yeah, Grindhouse, Cabin Fever, Hostel.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then they brought in oh no, why am I forgetting his name? Tim something, the guy that did the first Deadpool. Anyways,
Okay. Yeah.
so they needed to do some reshoots, I guess, because it wasn't testing very well with their test audience, and so they brought in the guy from Deadpool, and so now I'm like, okay, is it going to be salvageable? You know, like it's got a lot of big names in it. It's got Kate Blanchett, it's got Jack Black, it's got Kevin Hart, like it's got somebody I love, Jamie Lee Curtis, like it's got a great cast. So but I'm so worried because it's like it's a movie. What are they gonna do with it? The first Borderlands is a garbage story, so if they adapted that, yeah, they could easily do a movie on that, but it would be dumb.
I like
second
the
one
Borderlands game.
is big. Yeah, like the game's fun, but the story is just like go collect these 3 vault pieces and then go open the vault. You know, like that's the story.
There was a story. Okay.
There was there's a story.
All
Anyway,
right.
sorry, I can nerd out about these kind of things, but like, so
Well, I
I'm
think I just spent 300. Like I last year, I decided I got a computer about mid-year, and the one game I downloaded was Borderlands 2 because it was on sale, and I think I grinded out like 500 hours.
Holy
Something
cow!
stupid.
Yes.
Just on Borderlands 2.
I mean, I think
then I
that's
thought,
one of
do I
the best
get
video
3?
games out there.
Yeah.
Wow.
It when I saw the numbers racking up on the Steam account, I went, maybe 3 isn't a wise investment time-wise.
Oh, I think three is actually on sale at the moment, and
Oh
it's
no,
like
no,
just ridiculously
Tell
cheap.
me.
I saw it
Tell
there
me.
and I was like, should I? I think it's like 90% off, or it was. So might
Yeah,
be
no,
worth
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
it.
Well, I can help you there. 3 is great. I think some of the gameplay is improved. Quality of life things are improved. Story wise, I think it goes too long. That's one of the big things. Is
Okay.
I think there's definitely parts where you're just like, why am I doing? What am I doing? What like?
Yeah.
Yeah. So story wise, 2 is the strongest by far.
Yeah.
There's definitely some really fun things about it. I love playing it. I haven't sunk as much as I sunk into 2. I think I had over 1,000 hours into that.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
And I think on this one I probably have like 500 maybe. But
Jeez.
Not insignificant amounts of time, is it?
not at all. Like because I do love this series. Like it is my favorite series, but yeah.
Oh dear. But like, I wonder if, like, when you adapt them to games to movies like that, I think one of the challenges, and I see it from comic book adaptations of movies that adapt comic books, is that I know the story. So the part where you're leading up to the big surprise, it's been out for years. It's not going to be a surprise for the majority of people. Like, I think I would love to see a Mass Effect film, but the huge joy of Mass Effect 2 was that end story coming together and hearing about the stuff happening behind the curtain and realizing what was going on and going, oh my gosh, that's phenomenal. Like, but how do you make a film that carries that same?
Yeah.
You
Same
make it
for
a TV show.
Bioshock as well.
You make a
Yeah.
TV show, yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, BioShock. That is
I'd
one
see it.
that
I'd check out a Bioshock film show.
they did say
Yeah.
that they were going to make a movie, and I haven't heard anything about that in years. Like
Oh,
they
it'd
had
be so
signed it with
beautiful.
Lionsgate, I think, and yeah.
Would you make it a movie? Just, it's such a
Yeah.
in-depth world. I'd love to see it fully explored.
I agree, yeah. But I do think that one could be a movie with just all the like I think you could hit those beats. Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, so
In
good.
2 hours. I don't think you'd want to like make that too short. It'd be better as a TV show though, for sure. Fully flesh that
Yeah.
out. And, like you could have the different a new season could be another part of it, or like throwing in the other aspects of like BioShock 2, or even going into like
That's true.
Infinite eventually or something. But
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I mean
That would be
they're
interesting.
doing a Fallout TV series too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Why
on
not?
Amazon.
Mm.
Why not? If an
I
IP
know,
is
right?
making money, let's just go with
Yeah,
it.
the floodgates are open probably because The Last of Us has probably helped that, I would think.
Yeah, well, this has been in the making for quite a long time. I think they've been like,
Mm.
but I think that's another thing that okay. All right, I'm sorry. We can move on
No,
if you
you
want to.
go.
So in my mind, I would love so when I think about the Borderlands one, I thought, why not make it like canonical within the Borderlands video game? Like build on
Oh,
the
okay.
story rather than just tell the same story or something. I think that would be really fun.
Good. I agree with that sort of mentality.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
you can
like
just have interactions with the main storyline that are happening on the side,
exactly.
which is enough for fans to go, oh, I recognize that, or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's not enough it's not just a nostalgia trip for people who already know it. It's building on the world.
Yeah.
I think that'd be the way to do it.
And that's what I'm hoping they're doing with Fallout, because there's all of these vaults, right, in different areas. Hi.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. Our first watcher. Viewer. Thanks. But yeah, like, you have all these vaults spread out throughout the US, and each video game focuses on a different vault. So make this hopefully the vault is something that's not like, well, we're doing Fallout 3 or 4 or whatever. Hopefully it's just like a new vault. This is like fits
Yeah.
in with the canon and the lore of everything else in the video game series. Like to me, that would be really awesome. Mass Effect, right? Like, well, Mass Effect would be fun though to follow a Commander Shepard, but at the same time, like at that point, are you going to make them male, female? You could
Yes. See,
have,
that's
yeah, like you could have them just be referenced as Commander
Yeah.
Shepard,
So I
never
think
say their gender. Like,
good point.
Yeah.
I think Commander Shepard could just be a point of legend that you refer back to.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
you know, or
So
you build upon like their missions that they'd done, that they had sort of left hints towards something, and they're moving through that. They're picking up on those hints and following them through on their own missions. Yeah, I don't think you need to
Yeah.
follow Shepard him or herself, whichever.
Yeah. Be devastating if it came out for me personally if it was the male shepherd, because my playtime was with the female shepherd, and
The voice acting
just
in that was so good.
everything about it other than the ending of the third one was astonishing.
Oh man,
Sorry, it still hurts now. It still hurts
Yeah.
now.
I never got to the end of the third one. I didn't get to the end of it
Oh,
because
well, that's
my
a good thing.
I ended up moving and didn't have the chance to access my Xbox. So
Yeah, I've only ever cried at a couple of video games, like full on sobbing, and that was the end of Mass Effect 3 was one of them.
But because of it was
Devastated.
so disappointing.
Yeah, just devastated. Felt
Makes
like I'd worked all that time with this character that I loved, and then it was just gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Especially
me
where the
think I'm
payoff
happy it
isn't
didn't.
nice. Makes you what?
Makes me think I'm happy not having finished it. It's,
Honestly, yeah, like you can feel like you, yeah.
I'll leave it at
Oh,
2.
yeah.
All good.
But yeah, I think, you know, if they were to do a Mass Effect one, maybe the way to solve that is to make it so they're like siblings or something, right? Like if they wanted to do it, you have like twin siblings or something where they're both running the ship, or I don't know, like
Yeah, that's the other thing with Mass Effect, though, isn't it? Everyone created their own character.
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't just male and female. It was, you could just look like pretty much anything. It was,
They had a really good avatar builder on that.
yeah.
It was really it was really good.
I remember being so frustrated though, because sometimes I couldn't recreate it right in the next game. And I think they eventually did.
Yeah, they allowed you to import
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah.
Which
So
I
but
stuffed
I
up
think
and
like
then lost
1
the
to
whole
2
character.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how that happened. Oh dear. Actually, is all that still on Xbox? Because I actually have an Xbox I haven't opened.
Oh, really?
So I'm still deciding whether I open it or whether I just sell it off. I don't know if it's worth it.
Is it like a 360 or one?
No, it's the latest one. It's the
okay.
terabyte black, whatever.
Oh,
The
wow.
Series X, yeah.
Yeah, it got mine got destroyed in the flood, and so they replaced it through the insurance.
Oh, nice.
But I don't know what to do with it. It's sat there since like
Sell it and get a
year.
PlayStation 5.
Oh, right.
Then you can play The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a Steam Deck.
Or a Steam
Or
Deck.
a
That's what I'm
Steam
wondering.
Deck. Well
Steam Deck
done,
sounds
Riley.
pretty good. I guess I could
Get a
play.
Steam Deck, Dave.
Can I play Mass Effect on Steam? I guess
Yeah.
I
so.
think you can, can't you?
It's probably
Yeah.
worth it.
Pretty sure.
James.
Ooh.
Oh, actually, I don't know. BioWare or EA, right? Because EA has
was
their own thing, but they still put out games on
Yeah, I
Steam and
think-
stuff too.
I think there was an
bet it's
EA
some.
sale on Steam a few weeks ago. So,
Okay,
yeah, I played
Oh.
Mass Effect on Xbox, so back in the day.
same.
Oh wow.
And now you can get the remastered collection,
Yeah.
whatever it is. Yeah, like I've seen people playing that, and it tempts me, but I know the ending isn't necessarily.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting concerned that all these games are starting to put on subscriptions and things,
Oh yeah.
like so that you're paying like a monthly thing just to be a part of the
Oh.
community. I
No, I never do that.
how much of this subscription stuff can we handle?
Yeah.
I just don't know. How viable is it?
Yeah, that's how I felt with Patreon, of giving different streamers and YouTubers money. because it just becomes unviable, like you said, because you want to support everybody, but then when you look at your Patreon at the end of the month and it's like $40 or something, that's a lot of money. So in the end, I ended up just stopping doing it.
Some of the bigger channels are like this intro Patreon is like $20 US, which is horrendous. Like,
yeah, I think I only am patron to one person now, and I think it's Slicker Drips, who does board game content in the UK, and he's just such a lovely boy that I haven't got the heart to like unclick it.
It feels like you're like, my money, take that away from you. Ooh, man, La Modica. That is
200. James,
that is harsh. Wow.
You could be leasing a car for that.
Yeah, no, I couldn't afford that even if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
They said it got up to $200 a month. Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Whew.
That's what I worry about. So like, I love listening to actual play podcasts a lot, and I love listening to other things like and just supporting friends. Like, how many channels do I want to support? And how many, but where it gets more tempting is like Dungeons and Daddies is one of my favorites, and the Adventure Zone. I love both of those shows, and they have Patreon. Oh no, the Adventure Zone just has like if you support them on their like during a certain time or whatever, you get access to all of these hit like bonus episodes. But then like other ones have Patreon where they release like a monthly episode and you can listen ad free and all of this stuff. And I'm just like, I kind of want to, like, because I love this show. I'm caught up, and now I would have like a whole how many years worth of bonus content to listen to. But I don't know.
The thing that works for me is the occasional buy me a coffee sort of stuff. Like, I don't mind that.
Yes,
often
I
I'll
like
just go
that too.
Easy, flick you a few dollars. Thanks for the content. Really enjoyed the episode. Flick a few dollars.
Yeah.
No problem.
I'm wondering if people use that though, because again, back to Slicker Drips, he's come up twice in this episode. I did that for him one time just randomly because I saw it there and I was like, oh, I'm going to buy him a coffee. And he messaged me on Twitter and said, you're the first person that's ever done that.
Oh, wow.
Which is so strange because it's such an easy, quick thing to do, and you're not tied in like you are on Patreon.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how Wikipedia get me every year.
I pay for Wikipedia as well.
Once a year, I send them $5 or $10, and rather than subscribing to anything.
For the friend info, I like for the holidays in the video game series, there's Mercenary Day, right? And so we did this Mercenary Day episode, and just a little weird, crazy adventure I came up with. And so I ended up thinking like I could make this into a one shot and release this on Christmas, right? Like, and say like, Happy Mercenary Day, listeners. Like, here's a thing you can download for free. So I did it on our Ko-Fi, whatever I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. And so like I released it, and it's gotten like 15 downloads, but one person actually like gave us $5 for it. And I was like, whoa, okay. Like, I don't know if it's worth that, but like, thank you so much. And another person just coffeed us $5. And I don't know.
There was a YouTuber who I still love and follow, but they did something. They were putting content up for.
Oh,
did you freeze?
Have we lost Dave? Oh,
there we go.
Back.
Okay. Maybe.
Oh, I think he's gone. He's frozen.
We got a frozen Dave.
We do.
But
hopefully he'll restart.
For my stuff, like, I would love to start a Patreon, but I keep saying like I want to. I've told my cast. Oh, you're back? Maybe
I'm back. I
Okay,
thought
perfect.
you two disappeared.
Oh, yeah, you disappeared. You went through a portal.
Okay, see ya. Well, let me just say that you missed the most amazing dialogue that I just had to say, and I'm not repeating it for anyone.
Oh,
It was brilliant. Anyway, go on with whatever it was you were talking about.
Oh, I mean, do you remember what you were saying? I would love to hear it.
That's
yeah.
all right. I don't know where you're up to in the conversation. You go on. I'll catch up.
I would barely like start talking about something else. So either
We
way.
were back on Patreon, but I'm going to throw this comment up again, because I like it.
Yeah.
My love for you is worth more anyway, which is kind of true, right? Like I find sometimes if I haven't got time during the day, here's something that I do, right? I will put on a YouTuber that I like and go and do what I'm doing. And I just
that's
leave
nice.
it running
Let
to
them-
try and help their algorithm,
That's good.
Yeah.
even if I'm not watching it, just to throw them a little bit of
That's
support.
a nice way of doing that. That's a good way of showing support too. I like that.
Yeah. And it's
I've done that
easy.
exact same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I will go back to what I was saying to your example earlier, where there was someone who created D&D content, and I really love their stuff. Still follow it, but they had this not co-flow, but it was like you could go on and do it. They put content up like you did, and I think I paid $5 US, so it was like closer to $8 Australian. Downloaded it, and it was meant to help me with planning out my D&D session, and it was literally 2 pages of like title and columns, and I was like, what?
Oh no.
Why did I just pay $8 for effectively like
Oh, like no actual content, just sort of a layout for you to fill out.
it was like 2 pages of literally just some titles and columns left blank,
Oh, that's
Wow.
awkward.
and I was like, I just paid you money for this. Now I was really angry. So I've just not paid anything for that stuff again. It was just-
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was sure to list how many pages because I was like, I want people to know how long. I forgot to put a little content warning and I still haven't corrected this. I need to go do it because part of it happens in like an abandoned strip club. And like I didn't even think about that. Like there's no like nudity or anything like that. There's no dancers. There's nothing. It's abandoned, right? Like, and I just like all of a sudden it clicked a month after I did it, like, oh, some people might think that's like iffy. Maybe I don't know. What do you guys think? If it's abandoned?
No, I
What-
don't
what-
think so.
Was this like
Okay.
Borderlands stuff?
Yeah, this border. Like I made a one shot for the B&B
I
stuff.
kind of think Borderlands has its own rating anyway. If people are into
Yeah.
Borderlands, they know the rating.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not Duke Nukem, is it?
Oh yeah, easy. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If you went into a Duke Nukem thing, you would understand what you're in for.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's fine. If it's abandoned, who cares? People are too touchy. They're too touchy. I've turned into that old lady, haven't I? You know, those old ladies are like, oh, kids today, they're too touchy about everything.
Oh no, I feel I've been that old man for way too long as well.
A bit of a Larry David.
Yes.
I wish I was Larry sometimes.
Oh
don't
my
you?
goodness.
Oh,
He gets away with too much.
Oh, he does.
But it's great. Like, yeah, I love Larry.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh gosh, we're at 1 hour and 18 minutes,
nice.
guys. Should we wrap it up?
I think so. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
Probably should get some work done for the rest of my day.
Yes.
SaltCon was a lot of fun.
Oh, we
Ah,
didn't.
yes.
That was what
I
we
said I
wanted
would
to
talk about it.
We're gonna we need to do that now because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do want to hear all about it.
Well, I'm going to do like a full episode, but I know that Angela, you like paperback adventures, right?
Yes.
Or paperback. Sorry, regular
Paperback.
paperback. So I got to hang out with Tim Fowers there. We played a couple of games together, and one of the games we played was paperback, which I had never played the regular paperback. I love paperback adventures, and he was playtesting some new stuff for it. Which was really fun. So, and I texted him after and was like, I forgot to ask if I can talk about this like with people or put it out there. So I don't know if anybody else knows this or has much of this info. I haven't heard it much anywhere. But they're doing like a 10th anniversary because that's next year, I think. Or is it this year?
Wow.
Anyways, yeah. So they're doing a 10th anniversary, and it's going to have like some new content in there, as well as some kind of updated or like a updated balancing
nice.
stuff. But the new thing was like that you have a genre, so everybody has different genres that kind of give you goals and can earn you more points. So sort of more ways to
Oh.
earn points, and it felt very, very clever. I had never played original paperback, but I could see how that edition was something fun and unique, and it made me a lot more like,
Oh, that's
cool.
awesome
Yeah.
that you got to like actually play with that guy.
Yeah.
I've been
Tim's
playing
great.
it on I've been playing it on Steam Deck, and I've got the
Nice.
Adventures one
Ah.
in my wish list. So
Yeah.
Nice.
It's Paperback Adventures is one of my favorite games right now.
Oh, 1:30 a.m. in New York.
Oh.
Yes, that's late.
Grief.
Oh man.
Yeah. Paperback
Yeah.
is so good.
Haven't played it.
Definitely.
Have not. Is it?
Do you like word games?
I do. I haven't had a chance to check out Paperback yet.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah,
No,
it's good.
actually, the last game I played was Bunny Kingdom, which Ange had painted all the miniatures for.
Oh, that's
that-
awesome.
That looked very pretty. It was very schmick. Everyone loved it by the way, it was good fun.
Good.
And of course, Angela included a little TARDIS in one of the kingdoms,
Yeah.
little kingdoms.
In the
So I was
garden.
so I was talking about Angel's included a couple of Easter eggs in her painting, and someone made the point that Easter eggs is really appropriate for bunnies. So
This is true.
nice, good thought.
Yeah. I haven't played a board game for ages other than on my Steam Deck. So what else did you play at the con, Riley? Can you think of anything?
I played 15 games. I'll tell you what one
wow.
of my favorites was. Well, I thought that was a lot, but Mr. Ryan Rao, he is at a convention, and on his first day he played 9 games. So I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Lovely.
I mean, I'm having fun, but I'm also talking to people. I was worried that it's like, I hope it's entertaining for people to watch.
15, and your top one was
Endless Winter. That game, like, we didn't even finish the game. We got halfway through it, but it was a cool mixture of like worker placement, but kind of a little bit different, and deck building, right? Like, but it also had a lot of other kind of aspects to it.
Can you liken it to a game that people might know?
I'm having a hard.
It's a new one.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think of what it would be comparable to. I think it came out 2022, but because like, a lot of worker placement games, you put your worker on there and then you've taken that spot. Nobody else can go there. But in this one, it's like you get a bonus for being the first one to go there.
Okay, yeah. Now I'm thinking.
Yeah, and so people
There
can
is a
still
game that
go
does
there
that.
after, but it's not necessarily like, there's just a mixture of games. Like I see Lost Ruins of Arnak in a way where like sometimes you're going to be like doing this research type thing where you're going to place these tiles on this board, and that'll like get you different bonuses. There's set collection where you hunt animals, and different animals, like you want to collect sets of them because they'll be worth more points the bigger the set you have. There's the deck building aspect. There's
so it sounds like it's mixing a few different mechanics together there.
It mixes a lot together, and my wife is not like big into heavy games, but she was very hesitant about it partway through, and she was like, I don't know if I like this. But when we finished, she's like, I would let you buy that, and I would play that again. I would play it all the way through, because I think she was actually kicking all of our butts, but whatever.
Oh, that sounds good.
So that game, phenomenal. If you ever get a chance to try that, like, I could see how it might not be for everybody, but if you do get a chance to play it, I think you'd enjoy it.
Nice.
If you like mid-heavy games, I guess.
And did you play any light games like you would call family games?
Oh yeah. There was Kimmy chose a couple of them. There was one called Gizmondo.
Yeah, I know the one you mean.
Yeah, it's just kind of a matching game with powers, right?
I haven't heard of it.
I know I have. Here's all my games.
Gizmos.
I did see your game list on Twitter as well.
Yeah. Oh, Gigamons.
Oh, Gigamons. No, okay. Gizmos is a different game.
Oh, okay.
Bye, and thank you so much.
Yeah.
That was so nice of you to
Thanks for
stay that
joining
long.
us.
Yeah. Sleep well. Hopefully you don't have to wake up too early. I think New York has daylight savings too. So, oh well, yeah. So she'll have to wake up even earlier.
Ooh.
Or they. Sorry, I don't know. I assumed La.
Yeah, they. I'm not sure either.
Spec Bites. Hello.
Hello, Spec Bites. We're coming to the end, but it's lovely of you to join us. We've talked about video games, and we're now on to board games. And I have mentioned Dinkum because I think, from memory, you're a Dinkum player like me, and it's so good, isn't it?
So Gigamons is like a matching one where you're trying to get like, it's that classic game of memory.
Okay.
But when you collect certain sets, they give you powers, and you want to collect like 3 sets of them or something.
Okay.
Pretty simple. Kimmy chose that one, but one that I actually really, really liked as well was Noctiluca, which is a Shem Phillips game.
Oh, okay.
That I had never heard
I've
of.
seen that one.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, I think we had 9 turns the whole. Oh no, 6 turns the whole game, and they're fairly like simple turns. You just pick a number, take everything in that row, all the dice in that row that match that number, and then put them on your cards. And it's so simple. I don't know though if it's family weight, I guess, because it is like one of those ones that gets a little brain draining.
Did you say Shem Phillips did that one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that's quite different sort of thing for him, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was really surprised. My wife picked that one too, so
yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Better late than never.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. It's a shame that you've missed most of the chit chat, but we are going to have to get going because a few of us have got work things to do.
And the other, it's almost midnight. So
Riley, you're going to cover the con on someone's channel, or
just on the podcast?
On your podcast.
Yeah,
okay.
That'll be my episode 100.
Check that out.
Beautiful.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, will we wrap it up?
Sounds good.
I think we've covered everything.
Yeah, I dragged it out a little longer.
You know what? I should have remembered because I really wanted to hear all about it anyway, but I'll hit you up in the messenger.
Excellent.
Bye. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for that.
See you next time.
Thanks, everyone.